Hi again, welcome to Pearl Magazine. Tonight, struggling to make it on the outside. Research shows that when ex-offenders have a support network and gainful employment, the chances they will reoffend are greatly reduced. But in Hong Kong, the reality is many ex-cons face big obstacles as they try to reintegrate into society. Minimal education and a lack of vocational skills, not to mention a criminal record, are just a few of the challenges. Pearl Magazine's Tina Jiang shares some of the stories and struggles of some ex-offenders as they try to get their lives back on track.
I think I'm good at making my egg tarts. I often get positive feedback from people in the neighborhood.
27-year-old Xing has been working at a bakery for 5 years. He's most busy in the morning.
I come back and start work at 6 a.m. The first thing I do is bake the bread. I need to prepare 200 loaves a day, and even more if the business is good. I don't feel too tired, maybe because I'm still young.
The young man works 6 days a week. Over the past 5 years, he's proud to say he's never been late, not even once.
It's all about responsibility. I must be on time. It's just a basic. I'm the only one running this kitchen. No one can help me. If I don't come back to work today, the shop will have nothing to sell.
Xing dropped out of school and started working when he was a teenager. Back in the early days, he was far from being a good employee.
I made a mistake when I was 16, and I was jailed for half a year.
As for his crime, Xing doesn't want his past to be known, as it might affect his family and the bakery. But he has since tried to move forward.
I never liked studying since I'm not that type, so I started working. But I was young at the time and irresponsible. I felt unhappy easily when criticized. I was very rebellious. I didn't do what they asked, so every working day was unhappy.
He then quit his job after a year, and after that he never thought about settling down, until a social enterprise introduced him to the bakery as an apprentice.
I was not interested in baking. It's hard to learn at the beginning. But they gave me a chance. I thought I could give it a try. There's one thing I like about the bakery. If I made mistakes, they would not scold me right away. They would ask the reason. Are you feeling unhappy? So it's heartwarming to work here.
Located in a public estate in Chai Wan, the bakery was established in 2018 with a mission to provide employment and training opportunities for young ex-offenders, and of course, serving the neighbors freshly baked pastries. Ken is the operations manager.
Although I'm the manager, I'm not in charging them. I'm not give them order. I work with them together. We build friendship. We discuss how to make the shop better, to attract more customers.
There are 5 employees working here now, 2 of them with a criminal record. The shop also hires underprivileged women from the neighborhood as part-time workers.
The morning session is very busy. So we know our duties, the baker inside and prepare the bread. We outside prepare the food and drinks.
Ken is relatively new to the job. He's only been working here for a year, but Xing had already left a good impression.
Bakery is something boring because every day you need to repeat and routine. He come back here every day at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I don't think many teenagers now can do it. I think this kind of attitude can can bring him to every market, every job.
Even though Xing would like to learn more about baking, he's also worried about working somewhere else.
有啲地方見工，佢會嗌你填埋有冇
Some employees ask whether you have a criminal record during the interviews. You must tell them you can't hide it.
因為如果僱主如果佢真係
If the employer checks your background and realizes that you didn't tell the truth, they can sue you. So this is a problem.
呢個都係一個問題咯。
He says he's learned a lot from his mistake in the past.
起碼都學識咗整麵包。
At least I learned baking skills. If I didn't have that experience, I wouldn't even consider getting a decent job.
會正正經經咁出
I wouldn't grow up so fast. The prison experience pushes you to become an adult anyways.
Xing thinks that being less educated is one of the reasons why he doesn't have many options in the job market. But even with sufficient education, many find it hard to get an ideal job because of their past.
基本上我認識做翻文職。
Even if they used to work in the office and are well educated, it's nearly impossible to continue doing the same work.
Sam used to be a registered accountant, a professional with a criminal record. Sam had some bad experiences finding jobs after he was released.
好好嘅，佢會覺得話俾你聽。
If they're nice, they would say your application will be considered and won't be discriminated, but nothing would happen in the end.
但係會同你講你嘅人工唔咁高。
Another scenario is that they would ask you to take a pay cut. Let's say the average salary of a post is $20,000. They would ask you to accept $14,000. If you say okay, then you are hired.
Sam made a wrong decision in his early 30s that changed his life.
嗰陣時係
I was convicted because I stole some money from my employer.
入咗
I was sentenced to 5 years.
Sam was released on parole after staying in prison for 1.5 years. But that's when the real challenge started.
咁你請個更新人士，其實
To an employer, hiring an ex-convict is like putting a mouse into the rice urn. They discriminate against you because you made the mistake yourself, and you deserve the punishment. They won't help you. They can only see the criminal record. They don't care about your behavior now. I was prepared that I may need to wash dishes in a restaurant, or find a construction job, or do manual labor.
After graduating from a top local university, Sam successfully got into a big company working as an accounting manager.
基本上好習慣地覺得
It's natural to feel happy if I can leave the office before 10 p.m.
陪到屋企人食個晚餐，其實已經係
It's a luxury to have dinner with my family.
公司請翻嚟嘅人都可能
Big firms are full of capable colleagues, so it's very competitive.
真係都係真係比較激烈。有一段時間甚至
There was a time when I was losing hair because of work
嗰
pressure,
段時間
and grey hair kept coming out.
啲白髮又係咁生出嚟啦。
Growing up, Sam was always a good student. However, he started doubting whether he was being paid what he was worth when he joined the industry.
爹哋媽咪可能培養
My parents always taught me to study hard. They thought being an accountant was a decent job.
做得好啊，你肯做，你肯進修，咁你就
If they were willing to learn, a promotion would be promised.
就係咁樣
But when I started working, the game had changed. Then I realized I couldn't see a future.
The financial pressure became stronger after he got married.
我揾到份人工，當然對比起其他
My salary is better than most who are not professionals, but I didn't have enough money to support my family and parents.
整體上嚟講，我會諗，喂，我養家，我有
So what can I do? For me, I had already worked so hard to get the license,
去考埋個牌啦。所謂專業人士係點解？
to become a so-called professional. Why couldn't I support my parents?
And that's when he started to indulge himself in gambling.
覺得賭錢
I thought gambling was a quick way to make money. Then I got into real trouble. I stole money from the company. I was so stupid. I didn't know I would lose all the money.
好亂，
I panicked.
好驚。
I didn't know what to do. I had no clue.
The days in prison were hard, but his life after that didn't get any better right away. Sam lost confidence in finding office jobs after he was rejected several times. He thought he would never be able to work in accounting again. Until he met Thomas.
咁叫佢俾幾張嚟 spot check 咯。好啊。入咗去坐監嘅。
Many prisoners are from the middle class. Many are well educated. In the prison, they have nearly nothing to do. When they are out, they have no hope either.
An experienced accountant himself, Thomas had worked in big companies. He believed if these ex-offenders couldn't find a job they prefer, it would be a waste of their talent. That's why he decided to give them a second chance by making use of what he knew.
Once they are jailed, they lose their confidence. They feel useless, and no one will give them another chance. They need to regain their confidence. Accounting firms are no ordinary workplace. It has high integrity. Of course, it'll help them to earn their credibility.
In 2013, he opened his accounting firm and started hiring ex-convicts. But not all of his clients supported the idea despite knowing the story.
They would feel that I've already made a compromise to give these ex-cons opportunities. They're not the top tier either, so of course you should give me a discount.
Over the past 8 years, he's provided jobs for 34 ex-convicts. Now, half of his employees have criminal records, but Thomas admits that not every job seeker is a good fit.
There was a very senior accountant in his 60s who reached out to us. He was experienced, had worked in listing companies at the managerial level. He thought he could handle everything. We didn't hire him. So he tried finding a job elsewhere, but still couldn't find one for a year. In the end, he came back to us, and this time he was very humble. He knows that it's impossible to find a similar job elsewhere. He had to face reality.
Before he started the social enterprise, Thomas had worked as a volunteer, visiting prisoners regularly for 5 years. The memories of interacting with these people stayed with him, even after he stopped making visits.
If we don't give them chances, they go into a vicious cycle. They may continue offending or hurting society. Giving them a chance helps prevent them reoffending.
Sam has always been grateful for his second chance.
I made mistakes, so I knew I should seize the opportunity. I must do more than 100% to prove that I'm thankful. The public may not accept us, or may not be willing to give us a second chance. But I'm not going to give up.
After the break, growing up in a family where daughters are worth less than sons. Stay with us.